Okay, so I'm going to pick up kind of where I left off here. We had some issue. It started to. I'm going to go back just in case we missed. I think we're going over the pounds. I'm just going to go over the pounds again, just because maybe we missed that when the program was kind of shutting down. I told you at the beginning of the show that everything is going wrong today. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just things are just going wrong for no reason. So yeah, it's just kind of nutty right now. So. I think maybe the internet cut out. So I see no connection down here. So I think the internet actually cut out on us. But this is what happened. So I don't know what's happening here. So I'm going to go back to the pound Aussie and start here, and then we'll see what opportunities are there, so we don't miss any of our analysis. So as far as the pound Aussie goes, we're trading below our 720 here. We did pop up there in the last hour above the 720. However, we're trading well above our 200, our 100, and our 50 here. Down below our 720. So we're going to be short sellers on at least this 200, which is sitting at 178.92. Pound CAD, we're trading well below our 720 here. All the moving averages are in order to the downside, but it's a young, mature trend. It's just in the last few hours kind of straightened out here as far as the 50, 21, and the 8 go. So we're short sellers here. Anytime we get pullbacks to the 100, we're going to be sellers. We got a pullback to the 100 yesterday. So we could have sold on this 50, and that would be a profitable trade right now. As far as the pound Swiss goes, we're trading below our 720. We've got a lot of real estate between our 200 and our 720 here, so we're going to be short sellers here. All the moving averages are in order to the downside, but that's very young as far as trying to set up a trend here too. We'll see if this kind of consolidation that we're seeing here can open as far as these moving averages. If it can open up and get some distance between them, gain some ground there, then we might have another nice move down. Yesterday we had a nice opportunity because we traded way up here above our 200, so we could have traded, on that 200 to sell, and we would have had multiple opportunities to take profits off the table. Here's our pound yen. We're trading here above our 720. All the moving averages are above the 720 except for the 200. So we're still, considering this trend to the downside, the overall long-term trend being to the downside. And so we're not going to place an order above here when it pulls back. We're going to be looking to short on this 200 until that 200 crosses over the 720. And we've got enough pips between the 720 and the 200 in order to make that work. So the 720 sitting at 150.49, the 200 sitting at 150.35, and so we've got about 14 pips difference there. As far as the pound to US goes, we're trading above our 720. All the moving averages are above the 720. Most importantly, our long-term 200, 150 are above the 720. So we're going to be buyers here on this 200. It's a great place to place an order right now because our rate is far enough away from the 200 where we can drop that order in, and it should yield some pips for us. As far as the New Zealand CAD goes, we're trading here now right below that 720. We've got all the moving averages long term above the 720. So we're going to be buyers, not on this 50, it's too close. Maybe on this 100. If you want to be really conservative, you can use the 200 as our, as our entry point. Now this trend line that we drew yesterday, we can see that we walked right up that trend line. We drew a couple of days ago, actually. We walked right up that trend line, and then we broke the trend line, and now we're creating a new trend to the downside here. We've got a nice little channel kind of going to the downside here. So this trend line is going to be irrelevant. We do have a bit of a channel going here with lower highs, so we'll draw those in. Okay, and then we're going to draw in the lower lows. So that's the action that we kind of got going on. We got this channel to the downside. Rate has jumped below the 720, but we're not ready to sell yet. We're not ready because we need our 200, 100, and our 50 to be below our 720, because we know that at some point in time, it's going to, the rate will return to its overall direction, which indicated by these moving averages is to the upside. So even though it pulls back against it, doesn't mean that's the direction. Now, as far as the 720 goes here on our New Zealand Swiss, we're trading above that all the moving averages are above the 720 as well. Our 200, 100, and our 50 are sitting here kind of close together, but we can drop an order maybe on this 200 to buy. If we want to be conservative, we can use our 100, sitting at 65.92. New Zealand yen is trading well above our 720. All the moving averages are in order to the upside here. So we've got mature trend to the upside. So you know that we've got to wait till we get a pullback to our 50 or to our 100. We got to pull back past the 50 in the middle of the day yesterday. And so we'd be buyers on that 50. As far as the New Zealand US goes, we're trading above our 720. All the moving averages are above the 720 as well. We've got a nice opportunity to trade, maybe if not on this 200 because it's too close, we can trade on the 50 or 100, which are sitting at the 72.08 mark. Okay. US dollar CAD is still trading below our 720 here. We have a nice trend to the downside here. Got a little bit of consolidation and trading to the right. It's picking up a little bit too. It's finding a little bit of support along a rising trend line here. I'll go ahead and draw that in. You can kind of eyeball it, but this is kind of what I'm talking about. So that's what we see. We see a little bit of a rising trend line, but we know that the direction is to the downside because our long-term moving averages are all below our 720. So we're going to short once we get past our trade past our 100 here or close to it, we can short on this 50. So in the last hour, we kind of got that move. And right now we'd be kind of entering that trade to the downside. But if you didn't enter that, then wait for a pullback past or to our 100 or past it so that you can drop your order in to sell. As far as the US dollar Swiss goes, we're still trading here well below the 720 here. You can see the 720 up here when we zoom out. So rate and moving averages are below the 720. Right now, rate is between the 200 and the 100. So we have an opportunity to place a trade, maybe to short on this 50 at 91.42. As far as the US dollar yen goes, we're trading rate above our 720. All the moving averages are in order to the upside besides the 720, but the only ones above the 720 are our short-term moving averages. So we're still shorters here. We're still short sellers on our 50, 100, or our 200. The 50 looks a little bit close to the 720, so I probably wouldn't use that. I'd probably at least use my 100 as my point to short to begin. And then if it continues to rise and the rate continues to rise, these moving averages will rise, and we can improve the order all the way until we get within 10 pips of the 720. Once we get there, we want to stop improving the order. Okay, because we don't want to be too close to that 720. We just don't want some news event or spike or something and just kind of throws us in, or a change in the day could bring a wide spread or something that puts us in the trade that we really shouldn't be in. We really want to see committed movement in our direction first. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Sorry about the technical difficulties and having to cut this, have to do the show twice or two parts to it. So we'll get them uploaded for you here so that you can see them and that you can get your ideas done here as well. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate your patience. If you have any questions or concerns, let us know. If you have any customers or of your own or individuals that you are dealing with or friends with that can use this information, would find it valuable, pass on our company so that we can continue to grow here at iLi Academy. Once again, this is Derek with iLi Academy, and I thank you, for watching the Trade and Tech Show. Have a great one.